bunch, 6 times. I feel like it's been like 60 times. There's a lot going on in Tennessee, but there's a lot going on right here in this beautiful part of our state. And we are here to do yet another announcement, exciting announcement. As you all know, we are led by someone who not only is a great person and a great man, but a great leader of our state who had the foresight to do something about nuclear energy in our state, recognizing the assets and the asset that's here in this community. And so several years ago, we took that step forward as a state, as an administration, and thankfully our department got involved to provide incentives to companies that recognize Tennessee as a great place to do business and a great place, in this case, to do business in the nuclear energy and the energy sector. And we've had a lot of activity, as you all know. It's kept us very busy, and we're very proud of what we're doing, but we certainly aren't able to do that without many of you in this room who are our partners. And we'll be speaking to that here during the announcement. But you're not here to hear me make the announcement. You're here to hear someone else make this announcement today. And it's my honor to introduce our 50th governor of the great state of Tennessee, Bill Lee.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the, as I like to say, the global epicenter of the new nuclear renaissance. This is where it's happening, right here in Roane County, right here in Oak Ridge. And today we have another example of just why we can claim to be the center of this new renaissance. A great company, Radiant, choosing to invest their $300 million in capital investment, in creating hundreds of jobs for fortunate Tennesseans to mass produce nuclear microprocessors, to produce a nuclear generator that will transform the way nuclear is delivered in many places around the world. This is just one more example of a cutting-edge nuclear technology company deciding to deploy a world-changing technology and to build it right here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and we are grateful for that. Thank you. This announcement is one of a number of announcements. One of the things that is beginning to happen in this community. Well, one of the things that's happening is that we're coming here a lot. We stand up here on this stage, and I look at a whole lot of the same people every few weeks or every few months, and it seems like the announcements become more and more exciting as these companies create what is really an accretive level of excitement here in this community. We've known for generations, since the Manhattan Project, the people of this town and this county and this region have known the importance of nuclear energy, not only for powering the world, the new demands for our grid, but for national security as well. And this community is a unique one. So first of all, I want to say to those of you who are in Oak Ridge, there's much leadership here. You have created an environment here that's different than any other environment in the world. And it's why companies like Radiant will look, when they have options to invest all over the world, they look to this community and they see something that is different. And we've seen that time and time again. So we're very, very grateful for you and your team, for what you have. We'll hear from you in a minute, but from what you have done to transform this community. Lieutenant Governor McNally is here with us, who has, well, there are so many things about his presence here, not only just his leadership in this community, his leadership in the General Assembly, his leadership for the state, what he has meant to me as a mentor when I came into this job, someone who said, you know, I would love to walk along beside you and give you my wisdom, which I could never get all of his wisdom, but I'm grateful for his leadership here today. We also have other members of the General Assembly. And let me just say this. Well, Senator Yeager's here, Representative Yarborough's here. Is there another? Is there anybody else? Okay, good. Scarborough, did I say Yarborough? Sorry. You do, I do too. This would not happen without the members of the General Assembly because the governor can propose funding like for a nuclear fund, but the General Assembly has to approve it or it doesn't get funded. And Stuart mentioned the Nuclear Advisory Fund and the council and the investments that we've made in workforce development, for example. None of those happen without the General Assembly's authority. And so they're just partners and grateful for what they do for us every day. Congressman Fleischman has, I was going to say, you have harassed me for 7 years. I can say that to you, can't I? In a good way. A little bit like Senator Alexander to me did when I first met him. When I first met him as governor and came up here, both of you met me and said, don't miss this opportunity that we have in this corridor to change the world and to change the trajectory of Tennessee. And that's what's happening here. So there are a lot of other people to thank, mayors, leadership in this community, and that'll happen with the number of people that are going to come up here and say a few words. But Maria came with me today, and she travels with me a lot, but I told her, she said, you're going back to Oak Ridge? I got to go up there to Oak Ridge with you. So she joined me today because it's kept becoming such a repetitive trip. She didn't want me coming up here anymore without her. Yeah. Thank you all for what you've created here. This is one of the most exciting things that has happened for me in the 7 years that I've been in this job, because you plant seeds and you hope you get to see them grow. You know that sometimes you're not going to. Sometimes other people, as they say, will sit under the shade of the trees but we have together in the last 6, 7 years, we planted some seeds. All of us have. This is fruit that we are actually getting to enjoy today. And we are very grateful for the fruit that you'll provide for Tennesseans, because at the end of the day, if you're the governor of the state of Tennessee, what you really care about is that the people that live in this state have access to opportunity, and ever increasing opportunity, because that's when their lives are going to be better and their families are going to be better and their livelihoods are going to be better. And when you invest hundreds of millions of dollars and create high-paying jobs, you raise the level of opportunity to our state. You contribute to the movement from worse than the national average to better than the national average in poverty for our state in the last few years. You help move the needle from 15 distressed counties to 8 distressed counties in just a few short years. You make life better for the people that live in this state, and for that, we're very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. I think we talk about capital investment, we talk about jobs, and that is what motivates the work that we do at ECD. But this is a much higher calling from an economic development standpoint. You're talking about something with nuclear energy in the future of generating power, and what a great brand to have to come to Tennessee as Radiant. And it's such a honor, really. This was not an easy project to get. It was competitive. In fact, we thought for a little while we didn't get it, but we are grateful. And our next speaker is the CEO of Radiant, Doug Bernauer, and I'm going to have him come up and talk a little bit about the company. Obviously, we want to know more about it, his team that's here, and why they chose Tennessee. So, Doug, come on up.
All right. Hi, I'm Doug. Very glad to be here. And I want to just tell you the story of how I founded Radiant, what it's about, and how we got to this day today. So I'm an engineer. 2 years out of school, found a little company called SpaceX, and I went and I joined it back then when they had no successful rockets whatsoever. And I got to crawl around on the first one that worked for my boss doing the testing on that. I then quickly got into this program. We were going to put legs on a rocket for the first time ever. This is back in 2011. And it was 4 of us, and it was kind of an ignored project, reporting directly to Elon. We built that up, got it working in just a year. And it was extremely fast. And beyond that point, I basically just worked for Elon on every weird side project he had. So I did Hyperloop, and I did Boring Company, and I did a Mars colony design. And when I did that, Mars colony design, I was trying to solve for how do you get enough fuel to put in a rocket? And to do that, you need a lot of power. So Mars actually has the resources, but it needs power. And so I looked at these solar panels on Mars, and it was this really goofy design. And I brought these slides to Elon, and I showed him, you need about 4 football fields of solar panels. You got to somehow get there, unroll, have robots put it in the ground, connect them all. And he thought, that's about 4 miracles, more than I'd like on a mission. And so he said, probably nuclear is better. And I went, I'm going to look at that. And I started to learn, so about 10 years ago now. As I looked at it, I found it made the mission perfect. It took away all those excess miracles and made it so you could just put a reactor in a rocket. And I went, well, we got to find who can do this. And I started looking for nuclear companies, looking at nuclear national laboratories, trying to find out who can make this thing that I want to put in the rocket so we can do the mission. What I found was a gap. I found a missing technology. I found there wasn't a good, small, compact, portable reactor. So I put that idea aside for a little while, working on some other things for Elon. I was busy. And I have 4 kids, so that keeps me a little busy as well. Then a couple years later, this program called the Pele program came out. And it's a great program. It's by the DoD. And the idea was to make portable nuclear gensets for our armed forces. And what this would do is end up saving a whole lot of lives because we move around fuel and water and ammo and all this equipment around the world. And if you can just make that logistics burden a little less, you could actually save a lot of U.S. soldier lives, which would be really great. And so I went, well, maybe this is the customer. Maybe this is the idea, the way that you get a nuclear company that can make a portable generator that you need for space, because we got this great need here. So then we went by, let this opportunity go by at SpaceX. I tried to convince Elon to let me make a little company inside the company and go after nuclear. And he didn't want to do it. So I left and founded Radiant. And that's why we exist. And I left for about a year to just go learn the technology. And I met people at the national laboratories. And I started to just do the work myself as an engineer. I ended up not focusing on space or really so much on this military product, but on a portable reactor. Because one of the big problems is to have high reliability. You want to be able to build a reactor that is just hands-off, that could be delivered to space and could just run, just operate, and just function. And to do that, what you really need to do is to mass-produce reactors. And to do that here on Earth. I focused the company around this product. We can build in a factory, mass produce up to 50 units a year, and go put them at all the customer sites. And yeah, that was 5 years ago, and now we're, some 250 million or so dollars raised, about 100 people, and we found Tennessee. The governor said we're like the fruit. It's more like the fruit tree, because we need your land and we need some people to pick the fruit. But I think it's a great deal, a great partnership. And so, in the past, this site was used for enrichment, which is one step of the process. And you can create some jobs doing that and get some value here in Tennessee. But then that value leaves with that enriched material. And what I see with all the companies and all the work that Representative Fleischman and the governor and everyone have been doing here is making a place where you can have more of that value here in Tennessee, right? So you can have this enrichment, and then you can turn that enriched material into fuel. You can put that fuel in reactors. You can then export the reactor. So all that value stays here. All those jobs are created here. And that's all I wanted to share with you. I think it's very cool, and Tori's got a lot more of the details. So I'd like to introduce Radiant's COO, Tori Shivanandan. Come on up.
Governor Lee, thank you for welcoming us to Tennessee, and thank you to the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development and our new neighbors here in Oak Ridge. We couldn't be more excited. I'd also like to thank all of the local partners who made today possible. We moved very quickly, and you all have been absolutely amazing. I'd also like to thank Congressman Fleischman. We've known each other for a few years, and I want to thank you not only for your support of Radiant, but also the entire nuclear industry. This moment is nearly 2 years in the making. After an extensive national search and deep due diligence, we're proud to announce Oak Ridge, Tennessee, one of the most important places in the history of nuclear energy, is the home of our first of its kind nuclear generator factory. Years ago, this site, once known as K27 and K29, played a pivotal role in the enrichment of uranium for the Manhattan Project and America's first civilian reactors. That work that began here helped define the dawn of the nuclear age. And now, Radiant is here to help define the next chapter. We chose Oak Ridge not only because of its history, but because of its future. This community has a rich nuclear heritage, a highly skilled workforce, and what we like to call one of the highest nuclear IQs in the entire country. Believe me, we've looked. People here understand what it means to build safe, innovative, world-changing technology because you've been doing it for generations. Tennessee also stood out for its business-friendly environment and the kind of regulatory certainty that a company moving as fast as we are needs to know that we can build. In the last year, we've moved at a faster pace than most would have expected. Doug always thought we would move this fast. Between our recent deal with Equinix, the world's digital infrastructure leader, and our work with the US military to provide resilient energy wherever it's needed, we're seeing a global demand for portable nuclear power continue to grow. As we move towards turning on our first reactor just next year, we needed a location that could move as fast as we could. A turnkey site where we could break ground quickly and begin delivering to our customers. Oak Ridge was a clear choice. Many have speculated on where America will land in the fight for nuclear dominance. The reality is, when America needs something, we can make it happen, and fast. The world's first artificial nuclear reactor was built in Chicago in less than a year. Liberty ships were built at scale faster than any ship ever built before. And automobile assembly lines were turned into plank and tank assembly lines in weeks. We plan to begin construction early next year with our first generator shipping to customers not too long after. Within just a few years, the factory will be producing up to 50 nuclear generators per year, portable nuclear power that can provide energy anywhere, whenever it's needed. And so, in honor of the site's incredible legacy, and as a symbol of what's to come, Radiant will be renaming the historic location R50. a nod to both its roots as K27 and K29, and to the 50 new generators that will roll off the line soon each year. This is more than just a factory. It's a bridge between America's nuclear past and its nuclear present. On behalf of everyone at Radiant, I want to thank the people of Tennessee, the Oak Ridge community, for welcoming us with open arms and believing in what comes next. Together, we're building the future where reliable, resilient power is made in the United States, right here in Tennessee, and shipped anywhere it's needed. Radiant could not be more excited to build together. Thank you.
Doug and Tori, thank you, you and your team for your commitment to this community and to our state. We're very thankful. And as we say to many projects, to all projects, quite frankly, this is just the beginning of our relationship. We are not transactional partners. We are long-term relational partners. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing this up and going. It's going to be great. Our next speaker has already been recognized a lot. Chuck Fleischman serves as 3rd Congressional District across the state, as probably as many of you in this room know, is probably the strongest advocate and supporter of this community, but also the industry, somebody that we lean heavily on, and he has been extremely helpful to this administration, I know for sure. And with that, Congressman Fleischman, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Another great day in Oak Ridge and in the great state of Tennessee. Thank you. Governor Lee, thank you. I've been accused of a lot of different things, but harass is a very good adjective, or maybe verb, but you're absolutely right. I've always said there's 2 types of governors in the great state of Tennessee. And some might say, well, in a very colloquial way, gee whiz, sure, Republicans or Democrats. I said, no, those who love what we do at Oak Ridge and those who just tolerate it. Governor, thank you. You have loved what we do here. I would be remiss if I didn't say that Stuart McWhirter has worked tirelessly across all 95 counties. And sir, thank you. I did not know you before your tenure in this job. I think you've been the best ever. Thank you. To my local and state partners, I say thank you very much. The governor, after he put up $50 million for a nuclear fund, so it shows you how sharp he is and how fiscally astute he is. I called him up and I said, Governor, I need you to increase the state fund. Now, I've got between $8 and $10 billion going into the Great Oak Ridge Reservation. So I was only asking the governor for another $10 million. And he said, sure, I'll do it. Go get it from the state legislature. Well done. So Governor McNally and to our great state partners, thank you so much. We got the additional 10. So we're continuing to feed that great kitty to attract new nuclear to the state of Tennessee. A few comments. On the way up here today, I was privileged to get 2 phone calls. One is from my very dear friend, our great senior Senator Marsha Blackburn. Not only did Senator Blackburn want to send her warm regards, she is on her way back to Washington, D.C., hopefully to get the federal government open. And as you know, I have been always steadfast. We always want to keep the federal government open. So she could not be with us here today, but she wanted to say thank you. And her heart is here, and she has helped me so much, also with our great junior Senator Bill Haggerty. Somebody else called, Secretary Wright. Chris Wright took his first trip. Actually, he took three trips, but his really first substantive trip was to Oak Ridge. And he came away after 2 days at our reservation with a wow. So Chris told me today, tell everyone in Oak Ridge, especially our great governor, thank you very much. I've already sent him pictures of the event, of the site, of the Radiant site. But thank you so much. Chris could not be more bullish on Tennessee. And I'm here to tell you this. We've done Oklo, we've done Orano, we've done now Radiant. the secretary has told me today, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's a lot more to come. So thank you to everybody in the room. That is truly incredible. I'm going to close by saying this. I can remember, well, a little bit about my day job. I'm the chairman of the Energy and Water Subcommittee of Appropriations. What that means in normal parlance is I fund the Department of Energy. So I love all of our reservations. There's no question. I love Savannah River and Hanford and Paducah and Los Alamos. They're all great. But I just love Oak Ridge a lot more. And writing the energy and water bill, we continue to drive funds into this great reservation. I'm here to tell you, the folks in this room, we are the standout, not only in the United States of America, but to our dear friends at Radiant. Thank you for choosing Oak Ridge. You could have gone anywhere else in the country. I can assure you, you chose right. Thank you so much. So as we move forward, look at a few things. The future is bright. The governor and I are already talking about trying to get some more excess DOE land back to the great city of Oak Ridge so that we continue, yes. But everywhere I go, whether it's in Washington, D.C. or on the international stage, and I've spoken about that, or with the President of the United States, I can very, very vividly remember being on Air Force One with President Trump. We were going through a plethora of issues. And then he stopped and he paused. And he said, let me ask you about what you really do in Congress. And I paused and I looked at the president and I didn't know what he was going to say. He said 2 words, Oak Ridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. So you've heard this, it's a theme. We do these often. There's a theme here, and that is the alignment between our federal delegation, state delegation, and certainly our local delegation. And the governor has mentioned this in his comments, how important it is to have the support of our General Assembly and members of our General Assembly and leadership of our General Assembly. And so it's an honor to ask all of them that are here to come up, Lieutenant Governor McNally, Senator Ken Yeager, and Representative Rick Scarborough. Gentlemen.
Thank you. The governor said I walked with him when he was first elected. That's wrong. He ran, and I just tried to keep up with him. But we really do appreciate what you've done, especially in development of Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge is, as you said, going through a renaissance, and it's really like the Manhattan Project 2.0. We've got a lot of great companies that are coming in. We've got the infrastructure to support it. We've got a stable government, and we've got a lot to sell, and there'll be a lot more, I'm sure. And thank you, Stuart, for your leadership. And of course, I can't say enough about our congressional delegation, Congressman Flashman, Marsha Blackburn, and Senator Hagerty. They all do a super job. And President Trump also has really recognized the importance of energy for our future. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague who heads up the Republican Senate caucus. And I really enjoy working with him. We share districts almost, and he's a great individual to work with. But Ken Yeager, glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Speaker. It's a pleasure, a privilege to be here. It's an exciting time to be here as we celebrate this great announcement. We are on a roll in Oak Ridge and Roane County, and as maybe a few of you older folks might remember, like me, the late Al Jolson, who would say, "You ain't seen nothing yet." We have more to make because of the leadership of this state is making it happen. Radiant, we are so glad you're here. Now, you are no longer a prospect. You are an existing industry. And I want to tell you that anything you need that we can do as a legislature to help you, we will. We want to set you up for success. And I assure you that's what we'll do. So welcome, welcome, welcome. we've heard from our guests today, and I want to, perhaps it being a little repetitive, but when you're saying kind things about people that they deserve, you ought to be repetitive from time to time. It's better to say good things than bad things about people. Governor Bill Lee, thank you. We are experiencing, sir, a nuclear renaissance in this great state of ours that is happening because of your vision. And not only your vision, but the leadership to make it happen. Governor, thank you very much for what you've done for this district and all of Tennessee. Thank you very much. You've done wisely in picking the Commissioner of Economic Development. Commissioner, thank you for your leadership and your work. Tireless is the word that comes to mind when I think of you. You are tireless in your efforts to recruit industry and then to take care of them when they get here. Chuck Fleischman, besides being a good baseball player, we'll have to talk some more since we're getting close to the World Series now. But yeah, I appreciate what you do. He does so much for Oak Ridge, Tennessee, in supporting the programs that create the jobs and fuel the research that makes our country a strong nation and bolsters the local economy with some of the best paying jobs in the region. That wouldn't have happened without the leadership of people like Chuck Fleischman. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. With respect to the governor, I've saved the best for last. We are so happy to have the First Lady here today, Maria Lee. Truly, you grace us with your presence. Welcome to Oak Ridge, Roane County, and East Tennessee. I appreciate, too, and let me thank you for the work you've done in rural counties in Tennessee through your volunteer programs. I was telling her earlier that even though she has come and gone through some of these counties with the program of volunteering, giving away backpacks, cleaning up the state park in Pickett County, and the list goes on. They're still talking about what a great lady you are, and we'll never forget your interest in them as community. So thank you very much. You're just an inspiration to all of us. We appreciate your being here. Of course, we're here to celebrate Radiant's decision. Almost $1/3 of $1 billion investment in the property here in the Heritage Center. But to me, it's more than a financial announcement. It's a statement from Radiant of their confidence in us as a community. And it's also a statement from Radiant and their belief in the future, the endless possibilities in the road ahead, what the future will offer us from the technology that they will help develop and market here. They could have gone anywhere else. There was a long line of folks that wanted them, but they chose to come here. 175 jobs, good paying, quality jobs, the kind of jobs that will pay for your children's college education, make that down payment on that house that you've wanted to live for a long time, to help your parents out when they need help. Those are the kind of jobs that we're getting here. But you know, they're not just numbers, because let's view them a little bit more broadly as opportunities for our friends and families and neighbors. Jobs that bring income, of course, but jobs that also bring dignity and purpose for the men and women who will have these jobs. Thank you for changing people's lives in our region. You are a difference maker. And finally, let me say that, as I said, it's not just about jobs or the financial investment. It's about momentum. Momentum for innovation, momentum for long-term growth, momentum to position our community here as a leader in clean energy. We have seized that moment. We are building that momentum, and there is no turning back, Governor or Commissioner. Every major transformation starts with a moment like this. The train has left the station. We're moving on with this leadership along this front row here and behind me. There's nothing that we can't do because we're Tennesseans. We're Oak Ridgers. We're Roane Countyans. The future is ours. We've seized it, and we have the momentum. Thank you.
Governor, thank you again. I said this a couple weeks ago, it seems like, but thank you for your intentional effort to help us here in Oak Ridge. It's said a couple of times already today, Stuart, I don't know about, your team is arguably the best we have in the country. I don't know anybody does it better than you all. Let's give Stuart a hand. This team. Now, Doug, nobody told you this. I'm a former law enforcement man, and I've listened a lot, and I heard your comments about how you came up with this company. Initially, I felt incredibly inadequate. I thought, gosh, what have I done in my spare time? I mean, you're so smart and intelligent. But also, you talked about briefing this company and this idea with Elon Musk, and I got to say, I've never heard anybody talk about his lack of vision like he had at this moment. So you took advantage of that opportunity, so congratulations. But again, thank you for choosing us here. Nobody does it better than Tennessee. It's been mentioned many, many times, all these leaders on the front row, but you literally have the entire industry behind you right now to support you. You're going to be very successful. We welcome you here again to Tennessee, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, gentlemen. Our next speaker is somebody that we spend a lot of time on the phone. We spend a lot of time face to face. He comes down to Nashville a lot because we've already said it. There's a lot going on here, and we have to stay constantly in communication with each other. We've talked about the importance of local leadership. So Roane County Executive Wade Cresswell is somebody that we've gotten to know really well over the last few years, right? And we even joke about me getting an apartment. I'd have to pay for it, of course, but might have to happen because there's a lot going on here. But with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Roane County Executive Wade Cresswell.
Thank you, Commissioner. And we're deep in the lineup here, so I'm going to go fast, all right? I've got 3 quick points here, and I got to say this first, is that Senator Yeager likes to give me a really hard time anytime I steal his points. So I just want you to know, you just gave my whole speech. I got 3 quick points in backup. First of all, we are aligned as a community. We got a chance to talk about that last night. You're getting to see that it's real. It starts with our governor. Can't thank you enough for your vision, your execution, the nuclear fund, the nuclear council. It starts there, but it's real. You're hearing it. We are a team. You heard Mayor Gooch say it last night, and we want to demonstrate that to you every day. Congratulations on choosing Oak Ridge. We're going to prove ourselves to you that you chose the right path here. Second thing I want to say, I got to thank not just the governor for his leadership, but obviously talking about alignment, our senators, Blackburn and Haggerty, who couldn't be here today, are such an important piece. Mr. Nuclear in Congress, you are represented by absolutely the most nuclear-friendly, pro-nuclear congressman maybe ever, and he will work tirelessly for you. And then our state delegation are such great partners. They're so accessible. They're so helpful. I can't thank all 3 of you enough for your partnership. Our local delegation, Mayor Gooch, Randy Heeman, the City of Oak Ridge, Mayor Frank, and I know she's out here somewhere, Anderson County. There she is right here. Anderson County Commission, Oak Ridge City Council, several Roane County commissioners out here. We're working closely together. We established the Oak Ridge Corridor. Mike McGill is out here in the audience. And then our stakeholders, on the reservation from our federal partners as well. We truly are aligned, and we're going to prove that to you too. Two quick stories. First of all, speaking of stakeholders, the site you've chosen, a building was built there within a matter of months. I mean, a matter of months, because it was an existential crisis at the time. But there was no regard to safety or environmental protection at the time. So what we built in months has taken 82 years to clean up. And now we're in a time where it takes 82 years to build something, so it only takes 9 months to clean up. I stole that from Stephen Streifer, Dr. Streifer from Oak Ridge National. So Dr. Streifer, if you're here, I give you credit for that. But it's true, and what you're doing with your mission helps us overcome that challenge. But you wouldn't be there if it weren't for the incredible cleanup effort and the decades of commitment by the Oak Ridge Office of Environmental Management and their partner UCOR, who made that site available and possible to you. So please help me thank UCOR and Orion for the commitment. Finally, a quick story. We were at the NOW conference, Nuclear Opportunity Workshop, the ETech workshop, and I'm looking at you, Rita. And we've been watching each other for a while. We said this last night. We've been watching Radiant. Radiant's been watching Oak Ridge. But at this workshop, there was some press around your working with another state, and we're seeing some difficulty. So Mike McGill shows me an article for this. He says, hey, Rita's up on stage right now. I said, let's ambush her. As soon as she steps off that stage, let's catch her. And we did. She stepped 1 foot off the stage, and Mike and I just and said, this won't happen here. You need to be in Oak Ridge. This is exactly where you need to be. You're part of an ecosystem now because you've chosen this. Oak Ridge is your location. You're not just a part of the ecosystem, you're a cornerstone. And we're so excited to work with you and build a future that's even difficult to see. So thank you, congratulations, and we look forward to working together.
Thank you, Mayor. He's one of two important partners here, one of two of many partners here. So our next speaker is the Oak Ridge Mayor, Warren Gooch. Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Governor and Commissioner McWhorter. And Governor Lee, I want to say thank you for making another outstanding appointment. He wears these titles and does this work in an excellent manner that serves all Tennesseans. So, Stuart, we greatly appreciate your leadership and your work. There's been many people recognized here today, and I just want to say a word about our local partners in terms of industrial development, the Oak Ridge Industrial Development Board, as well as the Roane County Industrial Development Board, and we appreciate them. Ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard me say on many occasions, great things happen in Oak Ridge every day, and great certainly describes this event. Doug, I want to welcome you and all the members of your team to Oak Ridge and to the Oak Ridge Corridor. In his famous Rice University speech in 1962, President John Kennedy said, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and to do other things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because the goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win." 63 years later, we come together to celebrate a new partnership between the state, the Oak Ridge Corridor, and Radiant, which is built on trust and transparency. Again, I want to thank the Radiant team for taking the initiative without hesitation or equivocation to share their vision, to answer tough questions, and to affirm their commitment to a partnership. We all understand the urgency in establishing our energy independence, free from Russian and Chinese influence. We also understand that without a safe, reliable, and abundant nuclear energy, we cannot accomplish our vital mission. Radiant's portable nuclear generators will play an integral role in meeting this challenge and reshaping the supply chain
for clean energy resources. We also understand that the national security and healing of our environment demands our collective action. The world looks to the United States for leadership. And for over 80 years, our country has relied on Oak Ridge to provide solutions to protect freedom and enhance the lives of fellow Americans. And this is another step to ensure that we do it for another 80 years. I'm confident that with radiant and enthusiastic support of all of you that are in this room, we will win the critical race for energy independence. God bless our country and our men and women serving in the armed forces around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So that wraps up a long list of awesome speakers. We're very grateful for all of you that took time out of your day to be here. I do want to recognize again our university partners. We couldn't do the work really after these announcements without your partnership. UCOR, DOE, ETech. Thank you, ORTIC, for allowing us to utilize this space. Other agency partners, Commissioner Denise Thomas is here. Denise, raise your hand. She is our Commissioner of Labor and Workforce Development, somebody we work a lot with. I think workforce is obviously very important to you all, right? So thank you, Commissioner, for being here. I know that Mayor Cresswell mentioned Mayor Terry Frank, Anderson County. I do want to say thank you, Mayor, for being here. You're part of this. You really are. And I know we're not on your dirt right here, but it's critical. Anderson County is going to be very important to this entire ecosystem. So we want to say thank you. Thank you, Mike McGill, standing in the back. Mike, you've been great to work with. He's the glue in a lot of these moving parts, and there's a lot going on. And so I just want to say thank you to Mike. Adam Murray from TVA is here. Adam, who else you got here? Yep, we got lots of TVA folks. There's more. Let me just say this. TVA has been an incredible partner of ours, and we start almost every conversation with TVA because they're critical to the success of these projects, and they all require not only a lot of power, but they have a really good economic development team, and we're just thankful for their partnership with us. And last but not least on my team, Alan Borden, Callie Cook, who's off on maternity leave, Braden Stover, Lindy Baronis. By the way, do y'all know Alan Borden? Anybody know Alan? He's been with us for quite some time. Yeah. You probably don't want me to say this, but happy birthday, Alan. Alan's been great. He's been a great partner of mine in this whole effort. Gary Human, his team with Michelle and Crystal. Again, just thank you all for being, you've heard, we've got a great team. It's because of those folks, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. And Governor, First Lady, thank you for being here as well. Thank you for your leadership. These are the fun things we get to do, sir, and I'm glad you're here. And lastly, Doug, your team, thank you. We're very appreciative meeting all your team members here and just thankful for your commitment to our state, and we're looking forward to working with you all in many, many years and decades to come. So that wraps up our presentation. So those speakers, please come forward. We'll take some photos, and then any media that's here, you can make your way to the room for the media avail. So thank you all and have a great afternoon.
It might seem crazy.